What's good, people? Welcome back to another episode. It's your boy Elijah. So today I'm going to be taking you to Finance Crash Course 101. And today we're going to be focusing on budgeting. This is the single one habit that's helped me a lot when it comes to building my personal wealth. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it. And I've also told you guys about Notion before in the past. This is what I use to organize everything that comes to who I am, what I do, as you can see on the screen right now. So we're going to look into section finances, and as you can see, I have a section for myself here, and this is where I basically keep everything that has to do with me. But we're not going to be talking about my finances today. We're going to be focusing on budgeting overall. So I have a spreadsheet here that I'm going to be sharing with you, and this spreadsheet basically helps me detail out my expected versus my actual expenses every single month. So what you're going to notice is your expected every month is the goal that you're setting for yourself. So when it comes to what you're spending, you're going to have your needs and you're going to have your wants. And this is how I broke it down in this chart. So what you want to do here is you want to split it into 4 different sections. I can share this template with you as well, but basically the 4 different sections here, you want to start off with your needs. Your needs are the things that are super important that you need to be paying for every month and you cannot miss. For example, your rent, your utilities, your car, groceries, etc. You got to eat, you got to sleep somewhere, you got to get places that you got to get to. Another 2 things I have on here is your credit card and emergency expenses. Credit card here is important because on this channel, and as we know as a family, we got to keep good credit because this is good for long-term overall. So you got to make sure you're always paying your credit card at least the minimum payment and you're not missing any credit card payments. So this is a necessity. The second thing I have here is emergency expenses, and emergencies come up every single time. So you always got to have some money budgeted for that because you never know what is going to happen. So the bottom here, as you can see, I have some wants because we're all human beings. No matter how much you want to budget, you got to have some things that you give yourself here and there. And as you can see, I have a few bad habits that I've listed here, and I set a budgeting goal for it. Another thing I have here, super important to myself, is the gym. I go to the gym every time, and I have it as a want. It's not a necessity. I don't have to go to the gym. It's something I love doing, so it's a want. Eating out is another huge one that you got to make sure you're keeping an eye on. This is one that usually sneaks up on you because you're not paying too much attention to it, especially when you're out with friends. It's very easy to get carried away and just, spend away. And also drinks, like if you're eating out, you're drinking out, maybe like you're with friends and you're just, random occasion, things happen. Another thing I have here is an occasional act. So let's say you see somebody and you just want to give them a nice gift, or you just want to give like a homeless person some change or anything like that. You want to fix their tires. The little things that kind of come up. So that's like an occasional act, and that's something also you should keep in mind. So as you can see, everything kind of broke down together. The estimated is right around $1,000 for me, or a little bit above that. It kind of fluctuates, and this is an example. This is not quite as what I use now, but this is a great starting point for anyone that just wants to start budgeting for the first time. It gives you a better perspective. I would say it's nice to use applications as well, like Mint. But when you actually put down an Excel document like this, it gives you a better perspective of what you're spending because you actually go in and do the calculations yourself. You can go look through your bank statements and such to get that information. So as you can see here, I have the estimated liabilities here. Something else you should also do is keep an estimated investment. So how much you plan to invest that month. You should also be budgeting for that. I think it's a great idea. So overall, that's good. And I have lending here. This is just someone I lent money to. I just kept note of it. You don't necessarily have to keep that. It's just a way for me to personally understand it. So now we're going to move on to the actual part of the budget, which is how much I'm actually spending. So my estimated versus my actual. So this is the actual, and this is where it is actually more important because this is where you actually get to track your goals and see if you're actually hitting your milestones. You see if you're on track or if you're way above and beyond, or you're just, losing at this game. Because you got to think about it like a game in a way. So as you can see here, doing pretty well in a few categories. Car is one that kind of might sneak up on you as well, because you never know what's going to happen to your car, and that could also fit in with the emergency, like your car breaks down or something like that. So car might be a little bit expensive sometimes, but you always got to make sure that you're trying to keep within your goal. It's a matter of lifestyle. Maybe you're going out a lot more than you should be. So just remember why you set those goals. Next thing we have is groceries. I eat a lot and I love eating food. So that's one. I guess in this example, I'm doing really well in that. Credit card. I paid off, it looks like in this example, a huge whopping debt for my credit card. So that's why this entire document looks very, very skewed if you look at it. So this is huge. Paying off your credit card debts is something you always got to make sure you're continuing to do, because you always got to build credit. Leveraging debt is the single best way to build wealth in the world. If you think about real estate in general, a lot of real estate has to do with debt and leveraging that. So credit card is a stepping stone towards learning how to manage debt, with not a whole lot of borrowing involved. You just got to be smart about how you borrow with the credit card as well. Emergency, as you can see, random things happen. It flew out of my budget range, but besides the point, you always got to make sure you're keeping track of it. No matter how bad it stings to look at it, when you actually measure something, it improves. So as you can see, everything kind of checks out, yada yada yada. So the next thing I'm gonna put in front of you is a net worth kind of tracker, and this is not updated again. I haven't used this Excel in a while. I just wanted to give you a starting point, how I started budgeting. This is what helped me kind of get off budgeting ground. So you want a few categories here. The first thing you want to have is your liabilities, your debt, and this is your credit cards, your loans, whatever the case may be. You want to have it in this section so you keep track of that. Next thing you want to have is your cash. So I'm talking liquid cash. I'm not talking about your investments or your properties or whatever the case may be. I'm talking money that can easily be taken out of your bank account and used to buy something in cash, cold hard cash. So keep track of that as well, because you always want to make sure you have some cash laying around. You don't always want to be over leveraged in markets. You don't want to invest all your money in the market or invest all your money in this and that. You're always going to make sure you have at least some cash just in case things happen. Next thing is, your investments. So this is more so in the asset bracket. So this is like what you're investing in stock market, crypto, real estate, whatever the case may be. You also want to keep track of that. And basically at the end of it, you just want to calculate your net worth, which is your assets minus your liabilities. Put that all together, spit out a number. And this is just going to give you an example or, an idea of where your finances kind of lie. And, this is, I think this is a great example. This is an example budgeting of what it should look like. I can also share this document if you feel like you need a template. But this is super easy to make if you want to make your own. You just basically make a row, a few rows, first column of expected, and then calculate the expected, set your expected values, and then calculate actual values, looking at your bank statements and comparing the actual numbers. And then your result here is basically just a subtraction of that. And when it's green, I did some Excel stuff. So when it's green, it's like I'm doing great in those sections. When it's red, I'm doing terrible because I'm going over budget. Anyway, this is just a quick breakdown of how to start budgeting. This is something I think would be super helpful. So if you like videos like this at all, I don't make a lot of videos like this, but if you liked it, make sure you smash that like button. It's going to help me know that this is a video that people are super interested in. If you're new to this channel at all, make sure you subscribe, because we're always talking about personal finances, investing, and such. So you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned to this channel. Anyway, it's your boy Elijah. Thank you again for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Don't speak to no one, put the facts to the mass.